Series of members who would like to speak to this issue. But before I do, I would just say this. I've been here now a little bit more than 2 years, and I've learned a few things. One of those things I've learned is that when you have the public's attention, and when you have this chamber's attention, and when you have the Senate's attention on an issue of importance like this, you act, and you do as much as you can to not only take care of the corruption, the systemic problems within the VA, but other issues that have been pending for a long time. And to that end, I hope that we will, in fact, recede to the Senate version of the legislation. Now I'd like to yield 3 minutes to my colleague from Arizona, Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick, ranking member on the Oversight Subcommittee of the Veterans Affairs Committee, who has been a strong fighter for our veterans her entire time in Congress. I turn the mic over to Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick.
Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Barber, for yielding your time to me. I support this motion to instruct the conferees. The Senate amendments go beyond a short-term solution to solving the patient access at the VA. As a member of the Conference Committee, I continue to push for the provisions in the Senate amendments because they are good for veterans and their families. We must seize this opportunity to pass meaningful reforms at the VA. Our veterans and their families deserve better than piecemeal short-term fixes, especially with report after report of veterans struggling to receive timely care and benefits and struggling to find good-paying jobs. One provision in the Senate amendment will give post-9/11 GI benefits to surviving spouses of service members who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We cannot forget about surviving spouses. A surviving spouse struggles with the loss of a loved one and often struggles with a financial loss that can make it difficult to provide for the family left behind. Service members are able to transfer GI Bill benefits to their spouses and children, but the benefits and the ability to transfer this benefit are based on time served on active duty. We can all agree that surviving spouses should not be cut out of receiving full bill benefits if they lose a loved one before that loved one has served 36 months on active duty. The post-9/11 GI Bill will give surviving spouses the opportunity to receive education and training so they are better able to provide for themselves and their families. It would be wrong of the Conference Committee and Congress to pass up this opportunity to give surviving spouses this benefit. We cannot delay passing meaningful veterans legislation. If we do not take this opportunity now, then Congress will once again fail all the American people, veterans, and their families by refusing to act. Passing a VA reform legislation in a meaningful way that gives GI Bill benefits to surviving spouses should be an easy decision for every member of Congress. For those who are holding up the progress of this legislation, how will you go home to your district in August and explain to veterans and constituents why Congress was unable to pass something as simple as giving GI benefits to surviving spouses? I know that all of my colleagues sincerely wish to help veterans and their families, but it's not enough to pay lip service to our military and veterans. Congress must act now. At the very least, the Conference Committee should agree to this provision in the Senate amendments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.